And this is why when I called you yesterday, people call in with so many false hopes about what is the only last hope. And the only last hope I want to tell people is Jesus Christ. There is no other.
Well, that's absolutely correct.
And so we need to resist this evil. We need to make people aware. We need to talk to people. We need to support your program and the station. We need to do what we can. But let's have no delusions that kind of a corrupt system is going to be turned around, because people, Michael, have been planning this for America since day one.
You bet.
You take care.
Yeah, you too, Clyde. Thank you for your call. Bye-bye. Okay, we are going to take the break real quick. Brad and Loveland, stay put. I got two more paragraphs I want to read from this article, the real meat of this thing and what they're really planning on doing with it when we come back from the break. Open lines until the end of the hour. I'm Michael Corbyn. You're listening to A Closer Look. We'll be right back.
Thursday, November 3rd will be a special day here at A Closer Look. Over the past 480-plus shows, we've...
A Closer Look. Again, lines are open. We're going to take calls right up to the end of the program today. 877-424-4111, 877-424-4111 if you're calling from outside the Denver metro calling area. Inside the Denver metro calling area, 303-423-0188. And before I go to Brad real quick, let me just finish this article. Again, I'm reading an article that was in Fox News. October 26th, Yuri Kugiyama is the writer of it. He's talking about his own personal experience with Nippon Telephone and Telegraph, or whatever it was, company in Japan. And this is the real meat. Timothy Hillar, assistant professor at the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis, believes finding the right way to deliver an electromagnetic field to the ear at a distance could turn the technology into a weapon for situations where, quote, killing isn't the best solution, end quote. He says this would be the most logical situation for a non-lethal weapon that presumably would make your opponent dizzy. If you find just the right frequency, energy, duration of application, you would hope to find something that doesn't permanently injure someone, but would allow you to make someone temporarily off balance. Well, indeed, a small defense contractor, read that, okay? Indeed, a small defense contractor in Texas, Invocon Incorporated, is exploring whether precisely tuned electromagnetic pulses could be safely fired into people's ears to temporarily subdue them. Isn't that wonderful? You know, temporarily subdue them. Oh, boy. It's like being in a bad science fiction movie. Let's go to Brad in, let's see, where are you? Brad Loveland. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
You were talking earlier on your program about control of the media and so forth.
Right.
I want to mention a headline in today's Reporter Herald that says, Cheney daughter gets job at AOL. I found that rather interesting.
Is that the lesbian daughter?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Her functions, I guess, will include core functions, search engines, and so forth. And due to privacy company issues, they don't mention her salary or when she'll start or which plant she'll start at. But I thought that was interesting, to say the least.
Absolutely. But, here's the thing. The Internet is a wonderful thing, but I really do suspect, and again, have you ever heard of digital rights management?
No, I have not.
Okay. Digital rights management is a concept, and I've been meaning to do a show on it for a couple of years, and I've just never been able to get to it. But herein lies the problem. They're making all kinds of analog things go away. Radio, for example, it's broadcast over analog signal over the air, and that's how you get it. Television, radio, etc., things like that. Everything's going digital, which is a whole different animal. And in digital technology, you can have encryption. What better way to completely lock down the free access to information than to attach a license to every little piece of data or bit that you download? They can essentially control you even better than they can now. And see, this is the thing. AOL, and this is my opinion, so I want the lawyers at AOL to understand this is my opinion. I've always heard rumors that AOL was a creature of the CIA in Alexandria, Virginia, and that ultimately, where they're going to go with this is because you watch how these companies move. These companies are moving into into the age of digital technology, and they're big, they're consolidating, they're buying up the small guy, and I think that it's interesting that Cheney's daughter got a job there.
I thought it was very illuminating, to say the least.
Absolutely.
They kind of like to keep it in the family, and so I thought this might be on the front page. It's on the second page, and it's a very short article. There's only 3 columns, 2 inches long each, and that's all it says.
Well, that's it. That is very interesting. It doesn't surprise me, but it should be, I think, an alarming thing, because once again, we're seeing all kinds of strange machinations and movements on our political scene and how it relates. I mean, hey, Reagan was the beginning. Reagan was the guy that kicked off the ball into motion and introduced corporate fascism. We're privatizing the government. We're giving it to Halliburton. We're giving it to Choice Point and all these technological companies, these defense contractors, who, of course, share among their CEOs, interlocking groups and guys that walk back and forth between different doors, wearing different hats. They wear the military hat, then they're wearing the corporate hat. It's like one big orgy. Mm-hmm. And I think ultimately, again, where it goes is they want to lock down our ability to call them on their game.
Well, I think I'm going to go back to 2 Dixie cups and a string and watch my string.
Well, you know what? As long as you can keep, I'm not saying that digital is a bad thing, but I think we should really kind of take a really long, hard look at what it can do, and make sure that we don't do away with some of the older technologies. I mean, I had a guy point out to me one time. We're about out of time. I just want to bring this up real quick. I had a guy point out to me one time. What would you do if there was an EMP and everything that you owned has a chip in it, which it does almost now? Your watch, okay? What would you do if there was an EMP? Would you even be able to know what time it is? We have gotten rid of all of the so-called archaic technology that we used to rely on, and I think that should be something that people should consider. You know what I'm saying?
I looked into recently the GPS instrumentation.
Yeah.
And thought to myself, I'd be a little smarter if I tried to navigate celestially by the stars.
Yeah.
And a compass. That way I would never need a battery.
Right, or a sextant.
Yeah, I could never be shut down.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
We're out of time. Hey, thanks for your call.
Thank you, sir.
All right. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Until then, I'm Michael Corbyn telling you to take a closer look.